Do you have an online course that you're ready to sell? I'm going to help you create the simplest sales funnel ever right now. All right, welcome back. Today, I want to share with you how to create the simplest sales funnel for your online course. If you already have an online course, or if you're thinking of creating one, then you might know that the most important thing is to actually sell the dang thing, right? So you have to sell the course. What happens, and the problem that a lot of people run into, is that they create a course, they try to launch it, or they try to offer it, and then it flops. They hear crickets, no one signs up for it, and if that's the fear that you have, then I want to let you know that it's a very real fear and it does happen. I actually have a friend that I spoke to where she spent all of this money developing her course. She recorded all of the modules. She hired someone to write out the sales page and all of the pieces that you need for a course. She offered it to her audience and nobody bought. And it's a tragic story, but it happens more than you would realize. Okay. So here's what I want to help you with today. And that is making sure your course will sell with the simplest sales funnel ever. Okay. Now, if you are not familiar with the sales funnel, let me explain what it is. A sales funnel is like a slide. It's a very simple way for people to get to know you, get to like you, get to trust you, and ultimately open up their wallet and make a purchase. When we're thinking about a course sales funnel, the first thing that we want to think about is, where are people finding us? Where are they getting to know us? Like, how do people first meet you? Do they find you on a social media platform? Are they finding you because they heard your podcast? Did they maybe find you on YouTube? What is that first spot that they're typically finding you? In general, most people find me first via YouTube or Instagram. Sometimes they find me via a Facebook ad, but for the most part, my buyers and my organic audience is really coming from YouTube, which is why I spend so much time creating YouTube videos, because I love you guys. And I really want to make sure that I'm sharing valuable content for you. So because I know that that's where the majority of my audience first finds me, then I'm going to create content for that person who is just finding me. I'm going to make sure that I have very valuable content. I'm going to make sure that it's teaching some really good stuff. I'm going to make sure that it's, breaking down some beliefs and giving them aha moments and really just being helpful. It's the reason that I've got several videos on how to create a webinar. Even though I have a paid program to teach you how to write a webinar, I've got a lot of videos for free on YouTube on how to create a webinar, because I know that when my clients find me, sometimes they're just in that search process where they're trying to figure out, what do I do next? And so I want to share helpful content. And then if they decide to hire me, and if you find that and you decide, hey, I like what she's talking about, I feel like I can relate to her, let me go work with her, then I do have coaching, courses, and programs for sale. So once you know where your client first finds you, you can kind of put that in your back pocket. Don't do anything with it yet, because this is where a lot of people get tripped up. Don't do anything with it yet, but just kind of write that down. The thing that most people get tripped up with is that they spend all of their time creating content on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and, wherever else, or podcasts, or like, oh, I got to start a podcast, or I need to start writing blog posts, but there's not a clear path all the way to the end. And when I create a sales funnel and when I talk to my clients and help them create their sales funnel, we always begin with the end in mind. Okay. So we start with, where do they typically find me? And we're just going to sit that in our back pocket. We're going to come back to that. Okay. The next thing that you need for your sales funnel. So if you are paying attention, I'm teaching the sales funnel in the order that the person finding you is going to go through it. But then when you actually implement it, we're going to begin with the end in mind. We're going to start from the back. Okay. So bear with me. So the next thing that you need is a conversion piece. And this conversion piece is the way that you capture an email, a phone number, whatever you need to create a lead. That's your conversion piece. So if it's providing something to get an email address, or if it's, giving them some sort of training or freebie or whatever that thing is, so that you can start that conversation. Then from there, we've got courtship, and we have dating, and we have continuing that conversation via email or text, whatever your conversion piece is. And then we finally have the end of it, which is the actual sale. Okay. So going back to your online course, now that we know what our sales funnel looks like, let's start with how do we actually build it? You start building your sales funnel and you begin with the end in mind. So you start with your online course. What is your online course about? Comment below. Let me know what your course is about. Okay. I'm going to give you an example and we'll take a client's course, and one of my clients has a course on how to improve your staffing at your daycare. Okay. So if that's her end goal, is to get clients into her course on how to improve staffing at your daycare, then that's our ending piece. So now we've got to think about what's our conversion piece right before that. How do we get people interested in this topic? And so for her, it might be something like 10 reasons your staff will leave in the first 60 days. And maybe that's a video, or maybe it's a PDF, or maybe it's even a full-blown training, like a full webinar or something like that, where in order for them to get it, they've got to provide their email address. Okay. Once she has their email address, then she can follow up via email and eventually offer them the course. Or if it's the webinar, she can offer them the course directly on the webinar. Okay. Then from there, now that you know what your conversion piece is, now you can go back to your engagement piece of your sales funnel where people first find you. And so let's say for her, it is YouTube. Then, video one might be something like how I retained my staff, or how I increased staffing by 50% or something like that. I'm creating these topics off the top of my head, so please bear with me. But they're good information. They're how-to videos. They are valuable content. They're questions that your ideal client has. And it's all related to that end goal, which is getting them into the course to help them with staffing for their daycare, right? A lot of times people ask the question, well, am I giving away too much free information? Because if I want them to buy the course, why would I tell them at the start how I did it? And maybe this is another video for another day, and comment below and let me know if you'd like for me to kind of go more deeper into this, because this is the stuff that I share with my clients, and it does take a little bit of explanation, but I'll try to give you kind of like the short version now, which is you're never giving away too much information. If you think you're giving away too much information at the start, that just means that you don't have a valuable enough topic. For the person who really has this problem, they're going to want to get it solved for now and for good. And they're not just going to be satisfied with just watching YouTube videos, or just listening to a podcast, or just reading a PDF, or just watching a webinar. They're going to want to get your help. Okay. So even if you tell them here's how to do it, or here's why you should do it, or here's what to do, right? There's still some people who are going to want you to do it for them. Or there's still some people who are going to want your help as they do it. And there's still some people who are going to want that hand holding. So keep that in mind. You're never giving away too much information. You just got to get out there and share what you have to share. So that's how you create the most simple sales funnel for your online course. It really is a matter of figuring out where your ideal clients are mainly finding you, creating the content that's going to be helpful for them, and then leading them into the next piece, which is your conversion piece. And that could be your PDF or your webinar, or, some sort of free thing that you're asking their email address in exchange for. And then that leads them into your paid course. And that leads me into my next thing, which is I did a full training telling all about how I made over $22,000 selling online courses in 2019. And if you'd like more information, or you'd like to enroll for that training, all you have to do is click the link that's in the description box, and you'll be able to register for that course. Thanks so much for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below, and I'll talk to you guys and see you in the next one. Okay, bye.